Did you miss any of the Overwatch League matches from Thursday week 4? Don't worry, we've got you covered. The Game Haus Overwatch League recap is coming your way. Thursday started off with the Philly Fusion and the Dallas Fuel. Philly started on attack on Eichenwald and were able to capture the payload and move that wagon to its first point on its route, but unfortunately not much after that. Then came their incredible defense as they kept Dallas from even moving that payload, taking a lead in the series 1-0. At the Temple of Anubis, we had a much more even fight. Both teams were able to capture both points in their first go-around. The Fuel went on to attack to start off for the second go-around, but were unable to capture the first point and had to hope for an amazing defensive effort to make up. Unfortunately, they weren't able to hold as the Fusion took the point and the lead 2-0. On Ilios, many people were hoping to see a comeback from the Fuel, but spoiler alert, Ilios would provide no such thing. With some great plays out of Shadowburn, no surprise, Philly were able to take both maps and win the series 3-0. Dorado saw the Fusion attacking first. While this map was only needed for tiebreaker points, the Fusion knew they needed it to push on to the playoffs. They were able to capture the first 2 points, but fell halfway to the third. Then Dallas did the same thing, getting the first 2 points, but were stalled by some great defense from the Fusion, giving them the series sweep 4-0. Our next match, we saw the New York Excelsior take on the Shanghai Dragons. On Eichenwald, the Excelsior did what they do best, and were able to take all 3 points with ease. The Dragons were able to take the first point, but they wouldn't go much further as anyone could see how outclassed they were early on. On a side note, we saw Pine for the first time on this type of map. Does this mean we'll see him more often on hybrids? We hope so. The Temple of Anubis kept the snowball rolling for the Excelsior. They were able to take both points, with point A being a little bit of a struggle, but point A being a breeze. The Dragons were also able to take point A, but they hit a wall called the Excelsior on point B. New York continued their domination, going up 2-0. The Dragons looked like they were starting to figure it out a bit on Oasis. They were able to take University in a pretty convincing fashion. Sadly for them, they were playing against who we have down in the power rankings as the best team in the league. Pine showed off why he's a monster on control point and helped NYXL to take both of the last 2 maps to win the series 3-0. Dorado was probably the most one-sided map of the series. NYXL led off taking all 3 points and were able to hold the Dragons from even getting 1. They completed the second sweep of the night and helped their playoff cause. Ending the night, we had what many consider to be the best matchup of the week, the London Spitfire and the Seoul Dynasty. Well, not to spoil, but this match was anything but a great series for one team. The team started on Numbani, and the Spitfire were leading off on attack. They were able to take the first couple points thanks to some great plays by Jester's signature Winston, but fell short out of point 3. The Dynasty shocked everyone as nothing they tried worked. They were unable to take even 1 point, and the Spitfire took the lead 1-0. At the Temple of Anubis, the Spitfire also started off attacking. They were able to take both points as they quickly punctured the Dynasty's defense. Then, yet again, the Dynasty were unable to take even 1 point as London took a commanding 2-0 lead. At this point, everyone wondered where Ryu Jihang was, as he had been the starter up until this match. They say that Guido was the better matchup against the Spitfire, but one has to wonder if they may have been very wrong in this case. Ilios didn't bring the Dynasty any reprieve as London stomped them. The Spitfire were able to take both maps due to Prophet going off on his 13 kills and 2 deaths on his Tracer. London had done what many thought was impossible against the Soul Squad. They had won all 3 maps and held the Dynasty to none. Dorado proved that the Dynasty had at least a little bit of fight in them. Their defense was still struggling, as the Spitfire marched on through to the 3rd point with Jester, Birdring, and Wuyal all going off. Once they switched sides, the Dynasty were finally able to get their first 2 points of the whole night, but were stopped short of point 3, giving the Spitfire the 3rd sweep of the night 4-0. Tonight was sweep night, and while the first 2 were not super surprising, the Dynasty getting swept was extraordinarily unexpected. They play Houston on Friday, so it doesn't get much easier as that team has won 19 of their last 20 maps. As for the Spitfire, is it possible we finally saw what the super team can do when they play with team cohesion? If so, then the rest of the league should be on high alert as they completely embarrassed what some consider to be the best team in the league. That's it for Thursday's recap for Week 4. Keep your eyes out for more recaps from us, and remember to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe. From our house to yours, we'll see you next time.